My name is Aníbal. I play bass.
My name is David. I play drums.
Hola, my name is Marco. And I play guitar.
Hi, I'm Gobi and I'm the vocalist.
Can you tell us a little bit about your band? So a little bit of the history, how you started, etc. Who wants to go?
Yeah, sure. The band started as an alternative project because in Tijuana, everybody had different bands at the moment. It was like 2017, I think. And we started the project because we hang out as we were friends, and there were some political ideas and ideologies that were similar.
Yeah.
And I don't know, at some point we were drinking. I think it was like Christmas at a bar. It was cool. And we decided to start a band. It was just like, oh, let's do a band. We think alike and we like certain stuff that...
So did you know each other before you started the band? So you've been friends for quite a long time then?
Tijuana is a small city and a small scene, so we've seen each other like a lot of times before making the band.
Yeah.
David and me were at...
Same time, same high school. Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So you go
She and I did the same, different years, but in the same high school too.
same high school.
We're also married.
We are
so
married.
Oh, okay.
We're not married.
We're not.
You're not.
Good friends.
Yeah, two guys were married too, but...
We don't say this.
A different kind of marriage. Band marriage, yeah. So is this your first time in the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how are you finding it so far?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
The landscape.
It's cold.
It's cold, yeah. Today in Manchester, we've had the most appalling rain as well. So, really accustomed, getting you used to Manchester. So you did some shows in Leeds and Glasgow. How did they go?
They were actually really good. We play in Leeds at it was like the last Onas Nob show, a band from Leeds, like a power violence band. And it was a really surprisingly good show for the first show of the tour. After that, we went to Glasgow, and it was at a festival called Core Festival.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it was great. It was packed. A lot of people went to see us, even though it was like an early set. And all the bands were great. I don't know. I have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I didn't have any expectations because it's your first time here, but people really enjoy your set, which was nice.
Brilliant. So your name, so this is Violencia, which translates into English, you could probably guess, but violence. So why did you pick such an aggressive name?
That's him. He was kind of like the one that proposed the name.
Okay, so what was your thinking behind that?
I guess there's like different thinkings that I had in mind when we started the band, but but one of those, I guess, is that we're from Tijuana, and then we said like, oh, maybe like something that represents it, and it was like, oh, violence. Yeah. Oh, violencia, right? Another thing, it was that it was like a really popular word at the moment because everybody was using it in academic senses to do like, oh, this is violence, esto es violencia, this is violence. Like just as words start popping in everything, and especially like in social sciences and stuff like that. And we're like, let's try that name. Maybe it's like not because it's just to like have it and use it. It was mostly like there's a lot to say about what is violence in that moment. Not only like physical violence, but also like other types of violence that are or a lot of things are becoming now interpreted as violence.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good word for the ideologies or critical thinking that we were like trying to address.
Yeah.
It kind of backfired after a bit because like at first when people tried to like search YouTube or something like that for like a song or a video, the news would come up because this is a keyword. Wow.
That was kind of on purpose. So when they looked for the band, it was not that easy to find. I don't know why we chose that logic. But
If you put Violencia, Tijuana, it will like pop up.
Oh, it'll show you all the news of the violent occurrences.
Tijuana, it is a violent city, but I mean, it's not like very obvious. Like, oh, you just see people shooting or killing people on the street. It's more like an aggressive city because we're like on one of the most, if not the most, cross borders in the world, and it's like pretty hectic all the time. And you're like crossing the border is something so usual for us. Like we do it like I do it on a daily basis sometimes because I work in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
And I'm from Tijuana. I grew up there, so just like that lifestyle of crossing back and forward because you can't afford to live in the U.S. So it's kind of like a loophole. So crossing back and forward is just like such a tiring lifestyle. It's not for everyone. And it just creates kind of like an aggressive environment because everybody is like on a rush. It's so hectic and like you're just like you have to go straight to what you need to do. You can't really lose any time.
Yeah.
And plus like the situation of the border, just crossing the border is it's pretty tense, you know, like border patrols and like just being questioned all the time. And
because there's always like a process of dehumanization when you're like crossing the border, and so it's like a violence that you're like receiving every day, you know.
Even when you're crossing the border, like I got to see like the different people from looking for refugee in the U.S. Like from Haitians, and then from Ukraine, and I will see the different treatment they would get on the border, like and like some of them would not be allowed to ask for
political
assistance, and others would, you know. So I would get to see that when I was doing the line, and it's just an aggressive environment in all different senses. So people just think it's like narcos and drugs, and there is that as well.
There's that
like,
problem.
To me, the aggressiveness is more like the lifestyle that you live in that city. Like you just get tired of it, and you know, you can't escape it.
Actually, just talking about that, you most of your songs you sing in Spanish, don't you? And obviously you are on the border. So do you feel that that's a really important thing for you as a band to be singing in Spanish? Yeah.
For me, it's like a way of like also protesting because every band and any band can sing in however they feel comfortable. To me, it's in Spanish because that's what I grew up speaking. That's the best way I can express myself, like all of us. And it's also like trying to give a message that there's also music in other languages. There's hardcore bands in other languages, not just in English, because even in other parts of the world, they sing in English. And it's fine. I like it. But I'm like, there's other languages, and like some of them are even disappearing or they're not even considered. So it's been difficult to get ourselves out there because we are a Spanish-speaking band, and it can be limiting, you know, as a band, because people don't understand us.
Yeah, but I think it's important to keep to your heritage heritage.
Yeah,
You know,
and-
be true to yourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of like make like a gateway for other bands as well that sing in Spanish to like see like, oh, it's okay to sing in Spanish, because even in Tijuana the bands sing in English,
Yeah.
which is fine, but I think like it's important to sometimes retain like your native language and like
Yeah.
don't let it get forgotten.
Yeah, because sometimes it seems like I don't know, but like English speaking bands like get sometimes more exposure like in media over the worldwide, and some bands tend to do that, but I don't know, I guess we decided to just stick to ourselves, and I don't know,
Yeah.
that's the plan.
Be true to yourselves. Yeah.
I also feel feel very weird singing in English. Like I did some guest vocals with some friends, and the lyrics were in English, and it was difficult. Like it's a totally different feeling when you're screaming in English than when you're screaming in Spanish.
Yeah. You don't kind of feel that it's totally you, is it? I know when and sometimes when you speak in another language, you do feel like that's a different side of your personality, and
Even my voice changes a little bit.
Yeah. So you mentioned in Tijuana that a lot of the bands tend to sing in English.
Some of them.
They used to, I guess, in 2010. Now I feel like it's more common.
It's more common. Like
Yeah.
there's more bands like singing in Spanish. And,
Yeah.
you know.
Can you tell us a bit more about the scene in Tijuana? What's it like there? You know, should we go and have a visit? Is there lots of
Yeah.
punk bands?
There's some, I mean, like really good bands right now playing there. Like, you know, they're good friends in Grey Out. They're just doing some cool stuff. I don't know what other bands do.
I mean, there's a really big band right now called Havak,
Oh, yeah.
which is more into like the screamo, crust, kind of emo kind of side.
Yeah.
And they're really active. They've been like touring a lot. That's one of the most active bands in Tijuana, and they're also singing Spanish. You know, they're also like retaining that side
Yeah.
of them. I would definitely recommend them. Like you said, like Grey Out, more into like the hardcore metalcore
Yeah.
kind of side.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that in Tijuana right now. Like,
Yeah.
There's some like interesting things coming up. Like there's gonna be this festival called Anti-Fronteras in Tijuana in October, and I mean, really,
Anti-Fronteras is against the borders. Yeah.
exactly. So it's like, I mean, Drop Dead's playing, you know, and they're really great big bands. So it's we're looking forward to that, and we're gonna play that also. And but I mean, to me, it like kind of signifies like, hey, yeah, there's a scene and there's public in Tijuana for this type of music, right?
That's brilliant.
I see it as a bit of a statement. So like our good friends are organizing that. We're not really into the organizing of that, but I mean, we're just playing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's to me, it feels like a statement, right? It's like, hey, you don't have to cross over to the United States to get to see those bands. So you can come over here too, right? So it's pretty important to me. So.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a really kind of inclusive environment. A lot of, like you say, a lot of your friends are organising these events. What's it like in terms of kind of gender equality, you know, people's rights in Tijuana? Is that a big part of the scene that you're fighting for that?
I honestly think that Mexico in general, it's difficult in that sense. It's very traditional. Still, I mean, there's obvious, yeah.
Misogynistic culture, like very it's part of Mexico, unfortunately. I don't really see it changing. I think we have a president that is a woman, but things are still the same. Yeah, I really don't see it.
And do you think that the punk scene in Tijuana is actually actively voicing, you know, against that?
I mean, right now, for some reason, there is a punk scene, but it's really small. Like I said, it's more into the hardcore metalcore kind of vibe, and to me, they're not very into the politicized musical side.
Right.
Like they sing about other stuff, which is fine, to each their own. I think they're still great bands. So there is kind of like not a lot of people voicing like equality and like gender rights and like women's rights. You know, it's kind of like, but when you cross to San Diego, it's the opposite. And it's really weird because we are part of both scenes. Like to me, San Diego is like my second home. When I play there, I have a lot of fun. We have a lot of people supporting us, but I do see like the difference in both sides. Like one side is a little bit more politicized, voicing more like the equality rights and all that it conveys. And in Mexico, Tijuana, I mean,
I think because one of the reasons is because the Tijuana scene is really like a bar focused.
So it's quite small. Yeah.
Like all the venues that happen in Tijuana are not like really like DIY venues, are more like bars or places that sell drinks and
like a
you can play it.
breweries,
Yeah.
beer
Like
places and-
microbreweries, that kind of thing. Yeah. We've got quite a lot of them
So-
here in the UK as
Yeah,
well.
that's what it
Bands playing at them.
So shows kind of like, if you go to a show, it's like, oh, you go to drink. So people go like, oh, I'm gonna go drink, and oh, there's a band playing, so you know I'm gonna go to the show as well. But it's not. Sometimes it's not really like the priority. I think it's more like having fun and like meeting with friends. Like, oh, I'm gonna be at this show, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll go and get some beers with you.
Yeah.
And then they end up staying to see the show.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of bands with female singers as well.
Yeah.
Right now, I think it's just at least in like the punk, hardcore cross scene, it's just like I mentioned, ABAC
Yeah.
and Violencia. You know, we've been kind of like representing the femme
There's
woman.
1059.
1059, they have a bass, and Melting Lilies, which is more into like kind of like garage, riot girl kind of vibes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like getting a little like more
It's
better,
developing,
but it's
yeah.
a little slower because I don't know, it's just a small scene.
Yeah.
I think it also has to do a little bit what she's saying, like it's revolves around like bar culture. Like people get rowdy, you know, and sometimes like the space is not so amicable for like smaller, slender people, not only women, but just like because people get rowdy and mosh and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, obviously alcohol has to do something with that. So it's like sometimes really difficult because like, I mean, like when I go out, sometimes like, I mean, I'm big and sturdy, but like my wife's not, and she can't go to the front, right? So because she's gonna get hit in the face or something like that. So like that also kind of plays a bit like indirectly to that like kind of gap, you know, because like I'm not going to generalize only women, just like smaller, slender people that are going to be pushed around or whatever. I mean, it kind of plays on that too, like, right? So it's like sometimes I think that provokes this gap also, right? Which is to me like everybody, it's okay to mosh, man, it's fun and all that, but I mean, if you're the biggest man in the room, then you don't get to crowd kill, right? It's like, but yeah, I mean, I think I just wanted to add that.
But it's definitely fun. Like the fun scene, it's always been good. It's always been one of like in my opinion, like the best scenes regarding punk and hardcore of Mexico. Small but always consistent, always interesting projects.
I think we're also like we're very separated from the rest of Mexico. We're all the way to the corner. Like if you want to do a tour in Mexico, you have to fly. We have to fly there, so we don't tend to go that often because it's more expensive. That's why sometimes we because of our location, we end up touring California, which is more accessible for us because we can just cross the border and drive. You know, we don't have to fly, and yeah, so that's why that festival that they mentioned before, Antifronteras, it's important because they're bringing bands from Mexico, from like Mexico City, from other parts of Mexico that we don't get to see because we're so far. And I think that's pretty cool, you know. I think it's gonna have a good impact. You know, maybe more people will consider touring around Tijuana and those cities, you know, which I think they're doing slowly, you know. They're noticing like, oh, there's a scene in Tijuana. Maybe we're gonna buy some flights and go see what's up.
That's
So
it.
geographically, it also is like we're way up in like the northwest corner, And like the central Mexico is really, you have a really tight scene like in between different states and cities, right? But I mean, it's a flight. You have to fly or drive for hours on end to get like to Tijuana. So sometimes that kind of plays, its part. But like she said, I mean, it's really cool that, for example, this festival is bringing all those bands up here. So it's pretty nice.
VIOLENCIA album out, I believe it's called Viviendo Tiempos Aún Más Oscuros, yes? To translate that for our viewers, living in even darker times. So the image on the front of your album, quite a striking image with a dark, faded figure. Can you tell me something a little bit about that?
Yeah, I took that picture.
Oh, you took the picture, so yeah, you're my guy.
So I live in LA, and that picture was taken during the George Floyd riots that happened in LA. And I happened to live in downtown where they happened, so I was out there too. And I was taking pictures. I was being part of it too. And that one, it was just the moment where the cops started throwing like gas at people. So if you see the picture in the back, it looks kind of like gas or something going on. And the guy was running. He was running away. So I was like, took the picture. I just like had to hike him out. Like look like you can see it's a person, but you can see the face and then you see the background and all that. That's how it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a wonderful image. And you've also got a split record coming out with Dry Socket, I believe. Yeah. Dry Socket featured on MPRV earlier this year. So how did this link up happen?
I think
They're really good friends.
they're really good friends. We played with them before, and we got along pretty well. And I think me and Marco were just talking about who would it be cool to do a split with, and I'm like maybe Dry Socket because we're kind of like we've been like I don't know, we're kind of doing the same things, touring the same places. We have like a similarity in our ideas, at least like me and Danny that we talk. We kind of like have similar political views, and I don't know, we just kind of like proposed it to the rest of the band. They were cool with it, and then we proposed it to Dry Socket, and they were like right away, like they say yes. So it's been taking a little longer than we thought, but I mean it's finally out.
Yeah.
It's a long process.
And I believe that has an interesting drawing on the front as well. Yeah. Band members?
No, that's by someone, the graphic designer from Spain. I think Danny from Dry Socket has. She usually is the one that's in charge of the artwork for Dry Socket. So I asked her like how she felt working with Dread. That's what how they call him, and she's like, oh, it's pretty smooth, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna propose the idea, and the person was very interested, and I really like the outcome. I think it really portrays what like the split is about.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I really like the whole like I'm sorry, I'm vlogging in
The
English.
layout, maybe.
All the split, like the lyrics, the layout, all the message we're trying to give. We even like put our lyrics in English, in Spanish, and in English in Dry Sockets as well, because so people can understand. Because I feel people see that they're in Spanish and they don't like. I don't know. I feel like sometimes they don't take the time to translate it. I usually do. I'm like if I read the lyrics, I'm like But I also speak English, I understand both languages.
Yeah.
So me and Danny were like, we just kind of put it in both languages so they don't have any excuses of not understanding what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, and this isn't the first split album that you've done. You've done with some other bands as well. Who were they?
Depraved and with Double Me from Italy. Depraved, they don't longer play, but they were from LA, and then with Double Me from Italy, they're still active.
Yeah. Reminds me a little bit of the Bikini Kill Huggy Bear split album from the early 90s. I think it's a really good way of bands getting their, just kind of share fans with each other. Yeah. Do you think it's something that you'll carry on doing, these split albums? I think, yeah.
Maybe, we don't know. We're after this split, we're working on finishing our next record. Hopefully by the start of next year, we can at least have something recorded or start recording. Yeah. So we're gonna focus on that first, and then we'll see how everything goes after that. I mean, splits are fun, I like them. But
there's nothing planned, but I don't know, or maybe we're not opposed to it, right? It's what can happen.
And plans for the future. So first of all, we've got this tour that you're on now, heading off into Europe, I believe. Yeah.
6 shows in Europe.
6 shows in Europe, fantastic. And then some more albums coming out, and hopefully our viewers will get to see you at some point. So thank you very much for taking time to talk to us.
Thank you.